today we're doing a quick little well, I say quick, but we're doing a recap of 2024 Western Canada Strongest Man that happened July 1st out in Duncan, BC. The competition kind of started the day before where Keelan and through Power on the Plains Media did some social media content. I'm sure you guys have all seen the videos, the blooper reels, the athlete intros. So that's pretty cool to have that addition to this year's competition. You got to get to know a little bit more of each guy and what they were thinking about the competition leading into it. So that was a nice addition. The competition started July 1st downtown Duncan, British Columbia on the island. So it was a beautiful venue. We had lots of people showing up. We had really good weather, not too hot, no rain. It's just like the perfect kind of conditions to compete outside in. So it was 6 events. Originally, there was going to be maybe a cut to the top 12 athletes after the first 3 events, but because there's only 17 of us there, JF kind of just rolled with it and let everyone do all the events. So it's pretty cool to see everyone get to do all 6 events. First event was yoke carry. It was 900 pounds for 75 feet. Historically, kind of a hit and miss event for me. My last yoke in competition was, I think, the Shaw Classic last year, and it was 1,000 pounds, and I bombed it. It was not good for me. So this prep, it was kind of, again, hit and miss because yoke training would always aggravate my plantar fasciitis in my feet, both feet actually. So I was kind of nervous about it going in. So I was the first person to go, and I had to go by myself because there was an odd number of people. So I literally had to set the pace for everybody, and that's exactly what I did. I won that event, which honestly I didn't see coming. At best, I thought I would maybe get fourth. There's a lot of new guys that I wasn't sure about how their yoke was, so I knew the contenders were going to be guys like Colton, Sean, and Lars. They're really fast at movement, so I was able to pull a win in that first event by like just over half a second. I was a little bit faster than Colton, so really happy with that, which put me into a good position for log press. Event 2 was a 320 pound log press for reps on a natural, or like a wooden log that was Sean's. He brought it to us. He brought it for us to use in the competition. To be honest, I'm a little bummed with my performance. Prep was going really good, but that's inside on my own rogue log, so there's always different variables. But I thought for sure I was going to get 7 reps, but I got 6. I tied for second with that event with Lars, which for me is still in competition PR. Last year I got 5, and now I got 6, so it is slowly getting better, but based off my prep, I thought I was going to get 7, and Colton got 7 for the event win. So I got tied for second with Lars in that event. So it set me up good for the Dinny carry, which is the next event. So I got to see pretty much what everyone else got to do, and it was a Dinny carry for max distance, no time limit. Well, we were allowed 1 drop and 30 seconds to regrip, rechalk, set up. The weights were 300 and 250 each hand. So kind of a hard event. It is hard on the grip, but it's also a pain tolerance event because those rings just dig in your hands and they just hurt. I think almost everyone else hook gripped. I'm not sure on that. I know I didn't. It's just something I never could get dialed in training. It hurt with like 200 pounds of hand, so I just scratched that idea and just went without a hook grip, and I did well. I got second place in that event with 81 feet and 7 inches, which is okay, but I mean, Lars crushed it with 120 feet, so he really destroyed us in that event. So first 3 events, I was top 2 in every single event. Happy with that performance. I hope we're done with Denny's. Just get them out of the way. We've seen them enough times. We're done. Let's bring back farmers. So event 4 was a 75 feet yoke zercher carry into a 320 sandbag over bar for reps in the remainder of the minute. I got to go second last, so I got to see how much reps everyone else did except for Lars. In training, I was getting 5 with carrying the yoke and then 5 reps. So I knew 5 or 6 were gonna be probably the top end numbers. And I kind of did a really unique. I had a really unique strategy going into that event. I knew I was going to do it as soon as that event got announced, but I couldn't practice it in our gym because our gym has a rubber floor. And so what I did in competition is you had a start line and then you had a finish line, and then the sandbag was maybe 5 feet past the finish line. So everyone else would bring the yoke to the finish line, drop it, run around, grab the sandbag, and then start loading it over. But what I wanted to do and what I ended up doing was carrying it to the line, but I went way past the line, so I pushed it past the line and past the sandbag, so the sandbag was right in front of me already. So by the time I got my first bag over, was probably faster than anyone getting to the bag for their first rep. So I was able to get 6 reps with that sandbag. So that was another event win for me. I felt pretty confident about that event going into the competition, and it just played out kind of exactly how I wanted, and I'm really happy with that event. Even though you feel like you're gonna die when you're hearing the searcher, like tunnel starts closing and you can't breathe and you're just blacking out. But it's a good one. Which leads me into event 5, where it all came crumbling apart. Event 5 was a front hold for max time. I got to go last in the last pairing. We went head to head, so it's always tough to do a head-to-head event like a front hold with 2 different judges. You're always gonna have a little bit of discrepancies between what's too high, what's too low, what's your arms too bent. But I think the judges were pretty fair, pretty consistent with everyone. It just potentially could cause some differences, but it was pretty good. It was supposed to be 50 pounds, but it ended up being 64 pounds, so that's like 30% heavier than what it was supposed to be. But at the end of the day, it was the same for everyone, so would it have changed anything? Probably not. It's just notoriously a bad event for me, and it really showed here because I got 14th out of 17th place, so I only gained 4 points in that event. So I knew that was going to be the deal breaker for me. It was either going to make it or break it for the show. I only needed 2 more seconds to get 1 more point, but I just couldn't. I just need to get stronger in that movement, I guess. Maybe just start incorporating it into my off season throughout the year. Really, never hurts to have stronger shoulders. Kind of hard with long arms. The levers aren't the greatest for me for that event, but I just got to put the work in and get better at it, get stronger, and it will carry over to other events. So yeah, 14th place, kind of the old knife in the heart, but we moved on because the last event was event 6 and it was the max deadlift. So I knew that one was going to be a good one for me. It was last man standing. This whole prep, we didn't really know what the jumps were going to be. So, I mean, at the end of the day, you just had to be strong and be able to pull it. So I believe, don't quote me on the exact numbers, but we opened at 725, 756 is the first jump, 775 maybe, 805, 825, and then 850. So I have to say, hats off to everyone else who pulled a PR on event 6 of a heavy, long, hot day. It blew my mind how many people actually pulled a PR. It was a mammoth bar, so a little bit different than a regular deadlift bar, but still, at the end of a competition, to pull huge numbers, kudos to all you. I pulled a in-comp PR, so I'm happy with that. But a little funny story about the deadlift. Once we started getting closer to 800 pounds, the MC, kind of as a joke, was saying like, oh, $20 for the first guy that could pull 800 pounds. And then I think, who was it? Liam came up and pulled the first 800 pounds, and he offered him $20 and he said, just donate it to a charity. And then Tyler came up and pulled 800 pounds, and he reached for his money. He wanted his $20. And then it kind of went on, and then we went heavier, and then they offered $20 for the next jump. And then once we started getting to, I think 826, or maybe 826, JF said he'll give $100 to the winning number. So it's a little bit more incentive to pull up the boots a little bit and pull something big. And Tyler went out and pulled 826 for a big PR, 2 PRs in competition. And then Cam pulled 826, and then I pulled 826, and then we jumped to 850. So yeah, JF put in an additional $100 for the winning number, and then Alec Jose from RPE 11 Strength sports team was up there with Lucas Hatton, and I believe Lucas's business partner. Sorry if I apologize. Ryan, I believe his name was Ryan. They own Dungeon Strength, a pretty nice gym that we'd hopefully like to get down to one of these days down in Seattle. He also put up another $100. So him and Alec both put up $100 American. So between the two, that's like almost $300 Canadian. So there is an additional $500 on the line for the biggest deadlift. So Cam went up first and he missed it. And so all the marbles were there. I wanted to pull something big. I don't know if you could attach the video, or you might not be able to hear it, but I was getting pretty amped up to pull that because it was a in-comp PR. So I was walking to the bar. I was smelling my zone smelling salts, getting in the mood, and I had my mouth guard in. So I was getting hyped up. The crowd was getting hyped up. So I said, "Do you guys want to see this thing lifted?" But when I said lifted, my voice cracked. So I was like, "Do you guys want to see this thing lifted?"
Come on, James, let's go!
You guys want to see this lifted?
I want to see it lifted, let's go!
I'm like, oh my God, that's so embarrassing. So I better lift it. And yeah, went out, pulled 850 for an in-comp PR. And honestly, it was pretty comfortable. I believe I had 900 pounds in me on the day if I needed to. So that's going to be a good position to be at for Canada Strongest Man, because there's a max deadlift there too. So yeah, once all the smoke settled, we tallied the points for the max deadlift. And you can see beside me here, I got a trophy. Unfortunately, it's not first place, but it's second place. Sean, congratulations to Sean Hayes from BC. He won Western Canada Strongest Man with 87 points, and I had 86.5. So that's a tough pill to swallow, but that's strongman. I mean, you have to be strong overall. I kind of dominated all the other events, but I just really fell short in one event, and sometimes that's how it goes. I just have to improve on that event and move on. It's behind me now. And then Colton got 79 points for third, and then Lars got 77 for fourth. So Sean can't make it to Canada Strongest Man, so they deferred his spot down to fourth. So that means that myself, Colton, and Lars will be going to Quebec for Canada Strongest Man August 25th. At the end of the day, there's no shame in losing to Sean. He's an amazing athlete, and in 2022 he beat me at Westerns in Regina by 1 point, and then last year, 2023, I won. Now 2024 he won by half a point. So hey, maybe next year we'll tie, and hopefully the tiebreaker's not a front hold. But no, we got a pretty good competition rivalry going between us. Even Colton, he is on the podium 2 years in a row now. Big step up for Lars to be competing at CSM. Tristan Holth will also be joining us. He qualified for CSM by competing at Worlds already, so he didn't have to do Westerns. So yeah, we got 4 guys from Western Canada duking it out at CSM later next month, and I'm excited to see. We can do a video preview, I guess, for that competition sometime soon. Haven't really been able to prep much for it because in a week and a half, I'm flying out to Quebec, Victoriaville for North America's Strongest Man. That's a very, very stacked competition. You got, I think, 8 Canadians and 6 or 7, I can't remember, Americans, some of the best in the world. Hopefully the body can stay together, stay healthy, stay injury free, and just kind of train whatever events we can. It's kind of hard to train for 4 competitions when like 3 of them are one of the heaviest shows in the world. So yeah, overall pretty happy. Second place trophy. It's actually a really nice trophy. It's pretty heavy. But yeah, so that's 3 years in a row. I've been top 2 at Western Canada Strongest Man. Next year, just got to put the work in and make sure I come home with the first place trophy again. I know I'm capable of it. So yeah, thanks for tuning in for this quick little recap. And this train rolling. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, ring that little notification bell. We're almost at 700 subscribers. So thanks for tuning in, everyone. And yeah, we got a very busy summer this year. So stay tuned and let's keep this train rolling.